not the way we handle family business. This all has to be handled correctly.
Welcome to the Holy Shhh podcast. It's your boy ABE from DET.
It's your boy Ron T, the icon.
My name is the OCJ, Chuck Jordan.
It's your boy Ron T, the icon.
y'all twinning. Y'all the damn Tongan twins today.
The Icon Twins.
Now, on the real, this is Miinx Mayhem, Miinx of the Mayhem. I'm Ron's twin today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with whatever Ron says today.
Oh
Representing
that's
with
rare.
The iconic sweatshirts today.
Yeah.
Can we get a close in on mine? The GOAT.
God over all. What is that?
All things.
God over all
that's
things.
dope. I was gonna make a joke, but I can't now. Go ahead. You done brought up Jesus. Got to keep it serious. Yeah. Holy Shhh podcast. We back better than ever. Today we are getting into a topic that is heavily debated, and we gonna get to the bottom of this. We gonna get a winner at the end of it.
All
But
right.
we are talking about the greatest faction of all time.
Oh, that's easy. The Holy Shit Podcast.
Yes,
Yeah.
other than us. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
other than us?
Other than us.
Other than us.
Other than us.
I think we all know.
We're gonna bring it up. We might as well. Let's get started with Chuck George. Chuck.
Wait, let's just let.
No.
let me-
I'm a prisoner of the moment.
let
And
me-
for the last 5 years, do you see the one?
I got
It's
a
been the
one for you
bloodline.
right here.
It's been the bloodline. Like, it's still the best thing on TV. Because when Roman just came out recently, everybody cared. When Jay comes out, you care. When you hear Fatu's or Solo's music, we care. Why? Because the bloodline
What's the
was that.
we? You care.
The bloodline, come on, fans. Bloodline has been the best thing on TV, bar none. Not
and
great.
that is why you're
Not
the weakest
greatest.
link.
Not granted. Like I said, I'm a prisoner of the moment. And when he asked me, I was like, it got to be Bloodline because they learned from all the other factions to how to be able to take elements from everybody and be like, all right, this is how we keep them focused. And this is how we keep them tuned in every week to where SmackDown was the only thing we cared about for years until Cody finally took the belt from us.
Yeah, I mean, Roman is on the front cover of WWE 2K25. They do have the Bloodline edition.
Bloodline edition, huh?
The entire
So you're
showcase.
saying this is a good choice.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad choice.
It's not great though.
It
But,
has a really good argument.
yeah.
I said I'm a prisoner of a moment. I'm guilty. I really, like, I could probably think of somebody else now, but when you
This
first
is
asked
of
me,
all time.
I was like, things get better as you learn from the past. As great as Michael Jackson was, Chris Brown is like Michael Jackson 2.0. Maybe not to that extreme, but you get him going. It's You learn from your predecessors. As of right now, Bloodline learned from everybody else to where they took over our TVs for 6 years. Name another faction that took over your TV for 6 years.
When it's my turn, I will. But we're gonna stick to talking about this. Miinx, your thoughts on Chuck's pick, the Bloodline?
No offense, Abe. Get ready to crash out, though. I agree with everything Chuck said.
Oh my God.
Even then, why the hell are we still waiting for Bloodline movement through WWE when Cody holds the title?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cody comes out and then he's boring, and we're like, damn, I wish Jacob Fatu came out and hit him or something. Like,
And technically, Cody's still in the feud with the Bloodline because Rock is Bloodline.
You just gonna
Fact.
agree with him? I should have left you at the airport. I won't even pick you up. Man. Oh man, I will say this: Bloodline, they captivated the audience for a long time. And I'm not, you know me, I'm not the biggest Roman fan. I think without Paul Heyman, he's still that corny, suffering succotash guy. He needed Paul Heyman. He needed the Bloodline. So when you got a group and your leader can't even do shit on his own, they were booing him. People forget about this. They were booing that man for many years.
They were booing
They didn't
him.
like him.
They were booing because of Vince McMahon's writing, though.
Oh, now we blaming Vince McMahon.
And I'm not
I'll
even
be
gonna say that.
blaming
I'm not even gonna
Vince.
say that. I told everybody for years, when the Shield came together, we liked the Shield. When the Shield broke up, Seth Rollins got repackaged. Dean Ambrose, who was John Moxley, was repackaged. Roman still had the same theme song, same vest, same everything, and then it just felt like they were pushing him on us. And then when he got sick, and it just seemed like they kind of put their foot off the pedal, and then he came back on his own terms.
Yeah.
And then when like even what you saying with Paul, even when he came back and how heelish he was, because at first he was just this trying to be a babyface, I want you guys to like me. As soon as he was like, fuck y'all, give me the contract, and threw the pin and had to wreck everybody leave, from that moment on was when I believe the real Roman came out, and that was the Roman who was the leader of the bloodline, what we cared about. The old Roman, I hated him. Like, it wasn't until I was like, this ain't the same, like, even with John Cena, this ain't the same cookie cutter, come on, guys, you guys believe in me? No, he like, hey, no, y'all gonna acknowledge me, because I'm great, and if you don't acknowledge my greatness, fuck you. And I'm like,
I think it was the teeth, man. He
and the
came
veneers.
Back,
and the
he came
veneers.
back with the veneers and a new
He
attitude.
got them 50 Cent goat mouth teeth, man.
Hey,
Them
came back
motherfuckers
not
work.
giving a shit.
He said, wreck everybody.
Who,
and
in your
smile.
opinion, since this is your pick, the top 3 most important bloodline members of all time? In order, please.
Roman.
Roman's 1? Okay.
Jey Uso.
Okay, I agree.
Paul Heyman.
Wow. No Jacob?
I believe Jacob is a rising star.
Okay.
He will transcend, but as of right now, he's on the trajectory to go up, and there's no down for him, because even when he loses, I love even when they showed him get put through a table recently, they was like, how the hell is he still standing? Like, that's his whole gimmick, is no matter what you do to him, even if he's dazed and confused and lost, he's getting back up. And you got to figure a way to put this werewolf down, if you will. How you gonna put this dog down? And I'm not talking about Braun Breaker.
Yeah. My top 3, I'm going Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Tonga Loa. Yes, Tonga Loa to me is more important than that conditioned head bastard Roman Reigns.
So I thought you talking
I
about
actually like yeah, but
Right.
the Sami Zayn one is the part that just threw me.
Without Sammy,
he said Tonga
keeping it
Loa though.
entertaining.
He didn't say Tama Tonga. He
I
said
said
Tonga
Tonga
Loa.
Loa.
Bacaloa?
Bacaloa.
Sorry, I'll be forgetting the name.
That's the
Yeah,
type of
yeah, it's the
disrespect
best,
I'm
though.
putting on your bloodline pick right here.
So you talking about of all time though, as far as bloodline members,
I don't give a shit about them.
or a moment, like at the moment.
All time most
All right,
significant.
let me ask you a question. Considering we trying to figure out the best, and we all feel as if our own picks are the best, can you say something positive of the bloodline that you can put towards why somebody else might, like myself or somebody, might look at them and be like, they are good. They deserve to be on at least the list of.
I would say
greats.
this. Every character is different. And that's what I appreciate. Sometimes you get a group, you get Big Papa Pump and Buff Bagwell. You know, they're kind of the same. But every character is so different, from Bacaloa to the mercenary Jacob Fatu, Roman leading head of the table. You got the wise man, Jey Uso, what he doing? Big J, you know, he just there. He was born in the family. He ain't really figured it out yet. But still, it's his own thing. So that's what I appreciate.
And you got
about
Solo
the
that
bloodline.
actually
And
got a little
Solo
bit of.
with his Suge Knight thing that didn't start off good, it ended up good. So I'm not gonna completely hate
The Rock
on him.
with the
The Rock with the Down syndrome swipe. You know, it all works. So they all play a role, and I think it's pretty good. I guess we should move on to the next nominee for faction. I think we're gonna head to Miinx Mayhem of the Mayhem.
I'm
Who
not
brings
here.
the mayhem? Can we get your nominee for greatest
Miinx T.
faction of all time?
Minx T.
Miinx T. Yeah, Miinx T. Ryan
Miinx the
T.
icon.
Miinx T. the icon.
I was like, Miinx tea.
Yeah, I
Took
thought
me
it too.
a while
Like,
to get it. Like, what are you trying to? Like, are you having a stroke?
Her and Ron are twins today, so it's Minx T today.
but your pick of her greatest faction of all time, Miinx.
Ministry of Darkness.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Can we get some elaboration of why?
Because they're badass, that's why. Nah, on the real though, like, of course, when you look at me, you think, damn, she's weird. It was like the first ever weird faction I've ever seen in my life. So like it was Undertaker, Kane, Viscera, Farouk. What was that other guy's name?
Bradshaw,
Bradshaw.
Edge and Christian.
Edge and Christian, Gangrel.
You had Mo and the
It
King
was
Mo
different versions. It was different variations. People came in and out, but
Yeah.
and
that was the
Viscera.
core.
But Viscera was
This was the core.
core,
Yeah.
and then Mo was in for a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Because they
for
were
a little
tag
bit.
team.
Yep.
Yep. I think like it was the first thing that, and not really that led me interested. Not really something that led me to watching WWE, but it sure was a good way to keep me there. Cause I was all about Stone Cold when he was flipping people off and drinking beer and stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like it was just power. I remember after this they became kind of like the corporation with Vince McMahon, but I didn't like that run. It was just so much darkness and power in one space, and then on top of that, like Viscera is so underrated. Viscera is
He
one.
was an
Yeah.
athletic
Yeah.
giant guy.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
He was so underrated. Like and usually people when I ask them, "Do you remember Viscera?" They don't remember him.
They just think about the hump.
Right,
The
right.
hump, yeah, that was wild.
And
Who
of
was
course,
that? Jeff? Which Hardy was hitting?
Oh, Matt Hardy. That's what it was.
and
Right.
of course,
Matt Hardy
Farouk.
violated.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
Farouk
Farouk.
was like one of my favorites, and Bradshaw. But
The acolytes.
yeah, and like this was the beginning of Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
Like
Close to it. Yeah, definitely.
with Gangrel.
Yep. Yep.
With the Brood, and then they ended up doing their own thing after that, after breaking it with Gangrel or whatever. And so this was like, I feel like the start for many superstars, if not all, but you know, they just kind of went their own way after.
I will say
and
that
sold their soul.
that whole Undertaker during that time was probably my favorite Undertaker entrance.
Yeah.
Just when they used to have the people with the robes holding the torches and stuff, I thought that was pretty cool.
The Druids.
Yeah, the Druids.
Yeah.
And then the flames, and that's when, and I think he kept a lot of that originated from that to his entrances later on. But yeah, I think that was the coolest looking Undertaker. I think that's the Undertaker that Damian Priest is trying to emulate with his entrances and the entrance and all that stuff. But
yeah, definitely. One thing I will give your pick credit over his bloodline crap is Undertaker was a real leader.
yeah,
You know, not only just in that group, in that time period, he ran the locker room. He was the general. So him being the leader of that group, you had to respect it just because he was the kingpin of the company at that time. He was
Yeah.
killing it. Every WrestleMania. The streak was going on during this. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It didn't end yet. So that's what I liked about the Ministry of Darkness. And yeah, that's what I think. Right?
sacrificing people on main
Yeah, shout
on
out,
TV like
Stephanie McMahon getting put on the cross. So that
Didn't
would
Stone Cold
never
come
fly.
save her?
Yes. That would never fly in today's era.
Yeah,
It
he
would
did
not.
have feuds with all of the top people too.
All of them. And shout out to Big Bad Boss Man. He was part of it for a minute too.
Oh man, when they
was, he
hung
was.
him, man, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I was terrified. I remember watching that live, and I was terrified. I was like, "Did they just kill Big Boss
I
Man?"
think that
on
was more
TV?
towards when they transitioned to, like she said,
The
corporation
corporation,
side,
yeah.
but they was still the Ministry of Darkness.
Oh
you know?
man, I thought they took Big Boss Man out. I was like, "Oh man, that's a wrap for Big Boss Man."
Right.
I think as far as her pick goes, man, like not just even just the star power, but they took all the guys that you would normally be like the I don't want to say it because it sounds weird, but they took all the big people that you normally would just either have they just don't look right in a match with somebody, and put them all in a group. Like, now what y'all gonna do with that? Even just by themselves, they're a threat, but now they're all together.
Right.
How you gonna deal with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and another thing I like is you mentioned earlier when you brought up the Shield, great group, but when the group ended, people became greater. We called them the acolytes. They went on to become APA.
yeah.
We called them Edge and Christian. Edge went to be a multiple champion.
Rated R
Christian,
superstar.
yeah, he was something. You know, and he
He
did
tried.
it. He tried.
Well, Christian
Yeah.
now is
So they
way
all
better
That
than
was great
Christian.
at the time. He
Then,
tried.
They
yeah.
elevated after the group. So that's when you know a group is dominant. You could rule on your own, separate, and you still be great individuals. So good pick. Good pick for sure. That pick is going to fuel some comments, though, because there are some people who say, if you're the Holy Podcast, why do you got this little demon on here and you talking about demons and the darkness? This is going to fuel them. This is going to fuel them. But
If you're a troll, I engage.
This is
So
true.
try it.
right.
This is true.
Only for her pick, I wish we had the other logo with the
With the
With
hood.
the phone, that will be put in post credit for sure.
Oh, definitely.
The logo
devils.
Abe did
Yeah.
for me with
Yeah.
the horn.
Yeah.
Man, I did that logo and it was so awesome. I'm like, Abe, man, we need to redo it with the holy shit on it.
Oh no, we got a holy shit with the devil on it. I'm saying that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you talking about the one in
The
the
one-
commercial?
Yeah, the one we just
Oh,
did.
the
for
purple one in the
Oh,
commercial.
yeah.
That one too. But hers is cold too.
Hers is definitely cold.
Yeah, hers is
Who
cold.
you got, Ryan?
Well,
One more thing before we get into that. The last thing that I was going to say was if you are in the comments trying to come after Miinx, just know that demon stuff is real. She will torch your ass, and you will be on that cross like Stephanie McMahon was in that segment. So play with her if you want.
And there's no Austin coming to save you.
There is no
There's
Austin
no
coming to
Austin.
save you, sir.
Believe it. Fuck
Believe
around
it.
and find out.
She is 4'2" of all hell and brimstone.
I'm 4'8".
Okay,
Yeah.
8.
Hey,
whatever.
put respect on Ryan. Who you got?
Now we can transition.
You couldn't say that without saying pause.
Ron, can we get now your pick for greatest faction?
And don't you say Faxium.
Faxium.
Oh my
That's
See,
not
he
a
said it.
faction.
I'm just
Right.
joking. It was a joke.
He
Not
said
a
it wrong, trying to make it
I know it's
Fraxy.
Fraxium.
Put some
but, you
respect
know,
on their name.
Exactly. The greatest tag team of all time. That's
Wait a
another
minute.
talk.
God.
Here we
Nah.
go. I tried to help you and you just fucking threw it out the goddamn window. Fuck this nigga.
But
Go
no,
ahead.
my pick is the NWO. Because the NWO, it fueled a lot of these other factions. If you want to go to like even Abe's pick later on, I'll leave that. But just NWO itself just changed the entire landscape of wrestling. Even when it comes to certain people like that were kind of flailing, basically like 1-2-3 Kid, X-Pac came in and he did okay, and then when he left, he was 6.
Yeah.
And he became something. You had Kevin Nash and Scott Hall that went to WCW and started this up, and they became the Outsiders. And then you had Hulk Hogan with his heel turn, which is arguably the greatest heel turn of all time.
Are you saying it's better than Cena?
I'm saying it's better than Cena.
Wow, okay.
And simply because I said is that Hulk Hogan was the first poster boy of everything good, eat your vitamins, say your prayers, and then he turned heel and joined the NWO, and they're doing graffiti and tagging stuff and jumping people in the back. A lot of the segments where people get jumped in the back started with NXT. Not NXT, with NWO. The NXT parking lot, since we talking about, I said NXT, all the stuff that happens in NXT parking lot used to happen on WCW with NWO. It really fueled the whole Monday Night Wars, and WWE's Attitude Era happened because of NWO. And they said, we got to change the way that we present wrestling just to compete with NWO. So
the
I
only
think
negative thing I got to say about your group is the fact that it got too big.
I agree with that.
Because it got to a point to where even Sting was like, damn near everybody was in the NWO.
Yeah.
There was nobody to fight.
Yeah, that's where
That's what it got
what was that? Eric Bischoff. That's where Eric Bischoff kind of
Yeah.
messed up there. It was like then it split factions to red and black, and then black and white. But I'm talking about the original black and white NWO was what started everything. The red and black, it was okay. It was okay at first. It should have ended long before, because everybody was in NWO. They even started at LWO to try to.
Who's the
go against
leader?
that.
Who's the leader in NWO in your book? When you think of that group, you think of this top guy. Who's that leader?
People would probably say Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, but I say it's probably Scott Hall. Scott Hall was probably the leader of all of that, and right behind him, the number 2 was Kevin Nash. So
No love for Hulk Hogan, even in the
No,
Yeah, he was number 3. He was
number
important.
3.
He was important.
I do. This is probably the closest one that I agree with was NWO. They killed it. And like you say, the biggest part I like about NWO, without them, we wouldn't have got the Attitude Era. Even
Yeah.
though that was WWE, NWO was in WCW, competition makes people better. Just
Yeah.
like AEW exists now, WWE's on fire.
Man, NXT
You know,
versus
NXT's on fire.
AEW when during that whole time period with the
Yeah.
Wednesday Night Wars, that was a crazy time to be a black and gold NXT fan and AEW coming up, just like that type of stuff.
So that's what I appreciate about NWO. They raised the level of all of professional wrestling. How you feel about the NWO?
I don't know. That's old people shit.
Wow.
For life.
Wow. Old people shit. Man, you ain't seen no clips growing up?
No.
Old people shit. But
Let me go dye my gray hairs. Hold on.
well, you said that the demise of NWO, it went on too long. What was, you think, some of the factors in that?
They're the Attitude Era. The
Yeah.
Attitude Era, Vince McMahon took what they were doing and honestly did it better. And they was like, all right, well, how can we try to make this better? And then they split the faction and then they try to do too much.
Quick question with y'all 2 picks. You got Bloodline, you got NWO. Can we get a comparison of the wise men of the groups, talking about Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff?
I think Paul Heyman was better.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I agree
Paul
with
Heyman
Paul
was
Heyman because Paul Heyman understood like just
Wrestling.
the art of it, of wrestling and being in the now and looking forward to what's happening in the future and making adjustments and just staying current. Eric Bischoff got stuck where Vince McMahon got left behind and was still trying to do the same thing and make it work, and it wasn't.
Because even Triple H said, he was like, the best thing that ever happened for Roman and the Bloodline was, even though it happened during Vince's run, he let Paul do that whole story.
Mm.
He let Paul Heyman cook for that whole Bloodline. Like they literally was like, "What's the Bloodline doing this week?" And he was like, "All right, well, we're going to do this and this. We're going to." He was like, even with Paul Heyman, he said it on forgot what interview he did. He was like, not every week do we have to do something. Sometimes we have to have. He said, even if you watch movies, there's filler that lets you know what's happened and where we're going. He said, so it's not every week something has to happen. It's sometimes we just got to just keep the story going for this big moment to happen.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Like that, and that's no shade against Eric Bischoff because he was ahead of his time when he
Right,
started.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But then he got left behind because he didn't adapt to like the changes. And that's what Paul Heyman does really well. When he took over Raw for that brief period of time, Raw was on a
Amazing.
different level. And it was like, oh, Paul Heyman did that show. It was like, oh, we could tell.
Right.
So, yeah, that's one thing about Paul Heyman. He's been around for so long, and it shows that how like smart and brilliant he is of a mind when it comes to storytelling and wrestling and how to adapt, that he's been around for that long and he's still relevant.
One thing I like the difference about the two of them is Paul Heyman is 1,000% unequivocally selfless.
Yeah.
He will put over Roman and everybody else way before he do himself. Whereas Bischoff,
Yeah.
he
Bishop
liked to be
ain't
the
going through
star
no
from time
table.
to time. You know what I mean?
Bishop wasn't going through no table.
He wasn't going through no table. He
Like-
went through a couple.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, like, when you talking about the table, like Paul Heyman was like, I purposely stayed up for 2 or 3 days.
Right. Just
I
so he could look
purposely didn't
disheveled.
shave. I purposely did all these things to where I looked the part coming in. How we was talking about Tony Storm on another episode. It's like staying in character.
Yeah.
Bring that, because granted, like as a kid, I used to always be like, it goes off, but then it comes on. It's like, but what happened when it goes off? Like you guys keep going to the same back. Y'all don't fight back there. But now we see like you gotta separate them when they get back there. You gotta, because they fight now, they fighting in the back. But I was like, you didn't see that type of stuff until ECW, which is what Paul Heyman brings. Is like, no, even though we're off air, how do we keep this story going between when we come back on air again?
That is one thing that I will say about what Miinx's pick with the ministry with the Undertaker. Undertaker understood that too. What they said, keeping kayfabe alive.
Yeah.
They didn't go out. He might have been cool with certain wrestlers, but if we're in a feud, we can't be seen together.
Right.
Like at all. At the hotel, even driving in, we can't risk anybody seeing us. And I think that's one of the things that kind of Paul Heyman understands too.
Now, we said NWO was dead, but can you look at this little caveat? Maybe are they considered still alive because the LWO still exists? Are they considered a part of that branch off to you?
I think maybe you could say that because they are still trying to keep the memory alive with LWO.
You say
LWO isn't the same as it was in
Eddie Guerrero days.
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero days, and who else was in there? There was
LWO to me now is just a name.
Yeah,
it doesn't represent.
Juventud.
Yeah, Juventud was in there. And then you had I can't remember his name right now.
Conan.
Yeah,
Conan.
All of them. It's not the same. It's like Rey Mysterio wasn't even really in the original LWO, so it's just a name that they own, so they want to use it. So,
gotcha.
But the idea of it is still alive because of NWO, and the influence is still going on. If you see other factions.
Sure. Well, now we got 3 factions down. We got NWO from Ron, we got Bloodline from Chuck Jordan, and we got the demon herself, of course, Ministry of Darkness. She's gonna bring up. Now we get to my pick. My pick for the greatest faction of all time is none other than the Bullet Club. And I'll explain to you why.
They also do this.
And they also do that. It was. I'm going to give it to Ron. They were heavily influenced by NWO.
Before you go
ahead.
I'm going to tell you. My favorite thing about your group was the fact that it transcended through every wrestling promotion. Go ahead.
And I appreciate him stealing my point and just knocking off the whole segment out of order. I appreciate it. That's what you do.
My bad. But you shit on mine, but I want to tell you that I actually like yours.
Let me go to why. If you look at NWO, NWO, they were such a inspiring faction. You know, the Too Sweet. Bullet Club picked that up and ran with it. It was a time where it was just WWE dominant. You know, AEW wasn't born yet. It was just WWE dominant. It was nothing to rebel against the
even
machine.
Ring of Honor was around, but it wasn't
the
big.
same.
But you had just New Japan?
You just had New Japan. And when they started, it was, a lot of people don't know this, Tama Tonga.
Mm-hmm.
It was Carl Anderson and what's his partner name?
Anderson, Luke
Gallows, and Prince Devitt and the Young Bucks. Prince Devitt went on to become Finn Balor, and this goes to my point. There were so many incredible different versions of Bullet Club.
AJ Styles.
And the leaders, you got Finn Balor's Bullet Club, AJ Styles' Bullet Club. You got Kenny Omega's Bullet Club.
Yeah.
You got Cody Rhodes' Bullet Club. And each one of these individuals to this day, maybe not Finn Balor so much. He looking a little, lesser than.
Make Finn Balor great again.
Do not forget gold, black and gold Finn Balor. When he showed up in NXT, he shook up the world.
And when he came back as the Prince.
When Kenny Omega showed up at AEW, he shook up the world. When Cody showed up in WWE, he shook up the world. When AJ Styles debuted at Royal Rumble to WWE, he shook up the world. So this faction, NWO, they elevated WWE and WCW. Bloodline, WWE. The Darkness Group, they WWE, but every industry of the business, you had a piece of the Bullet Club in. They were in Ring of Honor, like you said. They were in New Japan. They were in TNA. And even to this day, they are still being represented almost on every single show. So to me,
and they acknowledge. The crazy thing is that they acknowledge the Bullet Club in WWE. They acknowledge the Bullet Club in Ring of Honor. All at New Japan, AEW, TNA. They call it the club at WWE because they didn't want to call it that.
They want that money. They want that franchisee tag.
Yeah,
they're not gonna get that.
But I can't really disagree with that because so many great wrestlers came through that faction that are in other wrestling companies that are helping to elevate that.
Yeah.
If you would have told me that John Moxley was in Bullet Club, I would have believed you just because he had that same type of attitude. But Yeah, I can't really disagree with that. The Bullet Club is like universal throughout all professional wrestling.
Yeah, 100%. And then it's underground. It's not like mainstream. It's like that when you get that rapper you love them because they underground, but as soon as they go on mainstream, they on MTV. Like, I don't fuck with that nigga. You know what I
So
mean?
what you're saying is the Bullet Club is Tech Nine.
The
The
Bullet
number
Club,
one independent
the
artist.
Bullet Club is Tech Nine.
The number one independent artist.
1,000%. And your bloodline is like Little Nas X. Just, just kind of out there. Big, flamboyant, over-marketed, something like that. I'm not saying gay. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, over-marketed.
He could have went Travis Scott.
He coulda said-
so many other
He
places.
could have said
Lil-
Drake.
Lil Uzi,
I mean, he's
Drake.
a big star. He's a
He
big
went
star.
Little Nas X. We got
He's
that.
a big
we got
star.
that one
And so is
country
the
song.
bloodline. They're huge. Man, I won't even ask you. You said NWO was old. You ain't even gonna have nothing to say about Bullet Club.
But Bullet Club is still going on, so
yeah, it's still going on right now to this day. Not as strong, but they have not died. They have not stopped the group. It has its own versions, and just shout out to the Bullet Club.
you got other members yelling in the ring in New Japan saying FWWE,
Right.
TNA.
Right. And Vince McMahon, y'all may not know this, when he was running it and Finn Balor came up, he offered them like $50 million
For the name.
for the name. And New Japan turned it down, and kudos to them because they went on to make $200+ million in merchandise. They stuck to their guns and still getting coin off of that to this day. Greatest moment though, just so we can bring this up. Greatest moment to me in Bullet Club's existence was when Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes was fighting over the leadership. That transition of power between the two of them, to me, that was like one of the most entertaining moments of Bullet Club. So
Didn't that even translate over to AEW?
it went right over to AEW, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of people forget, man, Cody was Stardust.
Yeah.
Bullet Club turned him into who he is today.
I will
they
say,
gave
though,
him his cool.
the Stardust, as corny as it was, he owned that.
Yeah, he did.
He owned it. I was
He did.
impressed. If you go back and see some of
You
that
know,
Stardust, I'm
because
impressed.
I was actually a fan of Stardust.
I did. I liked him too.
It wasn't
That feud with Robbie Amell. That
Yeah.
was
And
great.
it wasn't because he had the face paint and looked all goofy. It was the fact that the story behind it. He was like, "I'm doing this because I've always wanted to work with my brother."
Mhm.
Yeah.
To me, that was more important, especially when they had their dad standing in their corner for that one match. That was more important than the whole, like, everybody just makes fun of him because he got the little start. I'm like, y'all just looking at the face value. The message behind it was, since he came in, he was like, I've always wanted to do something with my brother, and now I can.
Right.
Granted, I got to paint my face, but that's been my brother's gimmick forever.
Hot take. Stardust was better than the dashing Cody Rhodes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might agree. But one thing Miinx always talk about is Homelander Cody. That was born in Bullet Club. And if y'all go back and watch clips, WWE is in for a treat when that man pulls a John Cena.
It's going to be a while.
And say, fuck them kids.
It's going to be a while, though.
When Cody say, fuck them kids, it's going to hurt.
And
it's going to hurt.
And he going to mean it because John's still friendly to the kids behind with camera.
Yeah.
Cody knows how to stay in kayfabe. He will really punt a kid like
he will punt a kid. Cody is such a heel. He will go to the Make-A-Wish kid in the hospital and pull his IV out his arm during the show. Like, die, kid. Tell my father I said hello, bitch. Cody is dark.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. That was kind of far. I'm sorry.
I remember watching the promo with him, and the guy was just talking, and he was just like, "I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to the shit you just said. What did you say about my wife?" And he was like, and he didn't say nothing bad about it.
Nothing bad about him.
He was like, yeah, you should do this and this and this. And he said, Cody, I'm trying to make sure you can go back to your wife. And then he kept going. He was just like,
I'm sorry.
I didn't hear. He literally was like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear shit you just said. What you just said about my wife?
Yeah.
And I was like, he snapped off just that. It was like, you brought my wife's name up.
Homelander Cody is different, man, different. But we got 4 nominees now.
Can I throw out my second one, my honorary?
We're going to get to that. Let's get to the vote. Four nominees. Ministry of Darkness, Bloodline, NWO, Bullet Club, without picking the one you nominated, Can I get your vote, Ron T, for best faction?
In order?
No, just one pick that you didn't pick out of Chuck's, Miinx, or mine.
I'm gonna have to go with Bullet Club.
Got a 1 vote for Bullet Club. Chuck.
Bullet Club. But I thought we could go in order, but all right, Bullet Club, definitely.
2 votes for Bullet Club. Miinx.
Bullet Club.
Wow, this is a.
That's because the NWO is too old for
I
it,
thought the
that's why.
NWO was going to win this shit, but I'll take it. My team is the winner. Bullet Club, greatest,
You
most
can't pick.
impactful.
You got to
group.
say NWO.
No,
then.
I was going to say NWO.
All right.
NWO, I'm going to be honest with you.
Who's 2?
I will break kayfabe here. That was my pick. And you texted me and said you want an NWO. And I said, fuck it, I'll take the Bullet Club because it's like the junior of
Yeah.
them. You
Bullet
know what I
Club,
mean?
No,
NWO Junior.
that's why I thought we was gonna do like an order, like not picking our own, just in our order we would go. Mine would be Bullet Club, Ministry of Darkness, NWO.
NWO is on top for me. 100%. Huge impact.
Who's your 2?
Yeah.
My 2, now, if I wasn't to pick any other than
Can't pick your own.
like you said earlier, honorable mention. I had an honorable mention. My honorable mention group was the 4 Horsemen.
My honorable mention was DX.
DX.
Mm.
DX. That's not
But
bad at
DX
all.
wouldn't have happened without
Which version of DX?
NWO. The one with China.
China, Sean,
Sean
or
and
X-Pac,
X-Pac.
Road Dogg in them.
Wasn't that's all the
They
same
all
one?
was one.
No, it was with
Where
all of
Sean
them.
left.
Yeah, no, with all of them when it was Triple H, Sean,
Yeah.
X-Pac,
So basically
Road
the one
Dogg.
with Sean or the one without Sean?
Both.
Both. Okay. Both.
Yeah.
Because there was a time when Sean left, but Sean came back, and it was still
Yeah. Billy Gunn and all of them was all in it still.
because to this day, my little brother would just be like, he'll just say one word, and it just triggers, and I go through the entire promo. He be like, "Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody." Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'm like,
I would definitely say that's where, because of DX, is why NWO went off the rails.
Yeah.
Because Vince McMahon took what they were doing with NWO. DX was the Attitude Era, and then they tried to make NWO bigger, and they screwed it up because they were trying to compete with DX. DX showed up live on TV
with a tank.
a tank outside of WCW during their show, which was wild. So that's a really good honorable. That's honorable mention right there. It's DX.
You got a second one, if it's not the Ministry of Darkness?
The Temu Judgment Day?
Temu Judgment Day.
I'm totally kidding. The original Judgment Day.
Original Judgment Day.
But I do feel like, though, Malachi's going to come back and be the leader of the new
Judgment Day.
The new Judgment Day.
I wouldn't mind that at all. If
Not at
Malachi
all.
Black
He
was-
literally kicked Finn Balor out. Like,
Yeah.
literally kick him out.
You just had to squeeze your little Puerto Rican poppy into this episode somehow.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but Judgment Day, they 100%. They grew on me. Dominic, still to this day.
JD, man, got a lot of
JD.
Yeah,
respect.
JD
When
got a
JD
lot
come
of
back,
respect.
He's gonna be on fire.
Yeah, when he come back, people gonna be cheering for him.
Finn,
that bobblehead
Rhea,
head.
Liv, Raquel,
Like,
even Carlito.
The Judgment Day is about to end up being a babyface team
Yeah.
or a heel team that everybody loves. One of the two.
You know, that's-
JD, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I called you a lollipop head ass bitch.
She did. She did. Look it up, sir. Don't accept the apology too quick.
Hey, man,
She said that with passion.
that damn bobblehead showed he can wrestle, man.
Hey, he the truth, man. When he come back, that pop gonna be crazy.
Yeah, when he was
we all-
Jordan
we all thought
Devlin,
we all
when
thought
he
he
was in
snapped that big ass head.
NXT UK, I knew he was gonna be special. But man, it-
Although for JD McDonough, I do have to say, bear with me, headbutting should be illegal for you.
It should definitely be illegal. It should definitely.
Nah.
unless it's a Samoan, you can't headbutt a Samoan.
Yeah, you can't have but
Are we missing before we get out of here? Was it any female groups we missed? Any great female groups? We had an episode a bit ago about females. Can we keep that going? Get them some love in this faction.
Team Bad.
Team Bad or Naomi.
What was the
Tasha
faction?
Bankstead and
That's-
Tamina.
I got it. I know it. The greatest women's faction of all time. 4 horsewomen. Charlotte.
I don't
Becky,
know. Were they
That was-
ever? I don't know if they
that
were
was-
ever
that
a
was just-
faction though,
It was an underground subliminal thing. I would like
because
to
they were
count it.
never officially a team.
I'd like to
Just
count it.
Bailey and Sasha were, And at some point, Charlotte and Becky were
I
like
see
a
what
little
you
bit of
mean.
a
I see
team,
what
but they
you
were never all four
What
together.
was they called? PFC or P? It was Charlotte, Saraya, and Becky. The three of them.
Oh, okay, I don't
They were
remember what
called
it
something.
was.
It started with a P. I'm getting PFC mixed up with the KFC girls we like to talk about a lot.
PFC, yeah.
Can't remember,
I
but
can't remember their name either. But they were a group. Not too many women group loves.
Yeah,
out
they
here,
didn't have a
man.
lot of
They
women
didn't.
factions.
I might have to go with bad. If we're talking about people
Yeah.
who actually had scripts, it probably was them.
considering where it's gonna go, I'm probably gonna be a prisoner of the moment and have to say the big three. The way
Big
they
three.
looking, big
Yeah.
three might be the best female faction.
It might be.
if
You
they
are
do
definitely a
if they
prisoner
do it
of the
right,
moment, though.
they do it right.
Yeah.
If they do it right, as of right now, they have all the attention. So I'm just like, I'm hoping they do it right.
Shout out to the Tonga twins.
Oh my God. On that note, let's get the hell out of here. If you agree with our factions, if you didn't agree, put yours in the comment below. But we got Bloodline, we got NWO, we got Bullet Club, Ministry of Darkness,
DX.
DX. This has been the best faction of all time by the Holy Shh Podcast.
Don't forget our Judgment Day.
And don't forget our Judgment Day. Definitely Judgment Day. But make sure y'all catch us every post show, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, either after, or if you don't see us after, you'll see us the morning after. And make sure you catch our SmackDown live every Friday night, PLEs. Tune in to all of our streaming platforms on the Holy Shh Podcast. And make sure you guys stay tuned to our Twitch page. We are doing a 2K25 tournament. We got some big things planned with that, so stay tuned to that. But until then, it's been the Holy Shit Podcast. It's your boy ABE from DET.
It's your boy Ron T. the Icon.
The OCJ Chuck Jordan.
And my name is Ron T, the Icon. I'm out.
Oh, man, you guys have been tuned in to the Holy Shh Podcast. Peace.